rather serious subject. We're back at you again. We're going to talk about Ahmaud Arbery and the situation that transpired in Georgia. Make sure you like and subscribe at Mildly Offensive TV on YouTube and follow us on...
Okay, why you so down?
Man, another nigga dead, bro.
I know, so get fierce with it.
It's just, I mean, but it happens... This shit happens so much, man. It's run of the mill, man. It's run of the mill shit.
Alright, we back for another episode of Mildly Offensive TV. Mo TV, baby. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Do that right now before we get off into this. You saw the title. You know what this video is about.
Yeah.
And we about to dig off into this shit. So, Ahmaud Arbery shot and killed in the street in Georgia.
Like a dog.
Jogging along the road, stops off, looks in a house that's being constructed. He looks in there, takes a look, gets a drink of water, I think, and he walks out. A father and son, white male.
That house regularly, actually, on his jogging. When he's jogging, he stops there. They got like 3 videos of him stopping there to drink water.
Oh, okay, so this is a normal route.
Yeah, this is the route he goes on when he's jogging. They have at least 2 other videos of him stopping there drinking water.
But on this particular day, father and son.
Couple of mouth breathers. Couple of crackers, bro.
JD and Billy Bob happened to be out there that day.
Murderous bastards.
So what I understand, they saw him on a surveillance video. No, in the moment, did they even know? They thought he was stealing something. They thought he had went in his house and stole something out of it, and he was running away.
That's what they said. But so the facts of the case are, my man was jogging. I'm not even sure if they actually saw him stop at this house, but they had to have, because, or maybe a call went in. I don't know if they had a radio scanner, but they recognized him, and come to find out, the son actually had an interaction with Ahmaud Arbery like maybe a week or 2 before.
Right.
Ahmaud Arbery was jogging, and the son said something to him, and they kind of had clashed a little bit, but the son went on about his business. So basically, if we lay bare the facts, Ahmaud Arbery was jogging. He stopped at, like you said, a house that was being built. Had a drink or whatever it was that he stopped for. He didn't steal anything. He just stopped at a house, either to check the house out or get a drink or whatever it was. A neighbor or someone there called the police.
I just called a guy running into a house being built 2 houses down from me. When I turned around, he took off running into the house.
Are you okay?
Yeah. It just startled me. When I turned around and saw him and backed up, he reached into his pocket and ran into the house. So I don't know if he's armed or not.
These that white people with the police shit. Oh, he's running right now. He's running right now. Before the police can even show up to the scene of the crime,
These vigilantes showed up.
That's a good word. That's exactly what they are. Fucking vigilantes. They show up, and just like anybody, it's like, hey man, you know, I pay my taxes. I'm a regular citizen like anybody else. I don't have to stop and listen to you. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? These goofy fucking people, you know, try to initiate some type of, you know, like, I don't know if they citizens arrest or I don't know what you call it, but they basically tried to check him.
Right.
He wasn't really going for that. I wouldn't have went for that either.
Right.
You know, I don't. And they basically murdered him in cold blood.
They had a tussle.
Yeah.
The son had the gun. I think it was the son. The daddy was in the back of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
I think the son and Ahmaud was getting into the white guy's son, and Ahmaud got into a tussle.
Yeah.
And of course, quite naturally, Ahmaud was probably getting the better of the white son.
Yeah.
And the white son had the gun, and he was like, "Fuck it, I ain't losing this fight." Shot him up close range because he couldn't win the scuffle. I'm pretty sure. Well, I can't even say that no more. You would think that if he probably would have won the scuffle, he might have wouldn't have killed him. But no, not out there. If Ahmaud would have fell on the ground, he still would have shot and killed him.
It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered because again, there are two things at play here, and we kind of talked about one of them. We're never really given the benefit of the doubt.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? That's the first thing. You see a nigga jog, he's jogging. He's jogging. He doesn't have a mask on. He doesn't have a gun with him. You see a man jogging, and you automatically presume that he's a criminal. You automatically presume that he's doing something illegal. And to play devil's advocate, fuck it. Let's say that he was. You're not the police.
You're not the goddamn police.
You're not the cops.
That's what I'm saying. Let's break this shit down. Let's simplify it. Let's just be real honest on this episode. Let's put ourselves in his shoes. You see a man jogging. He stops off and he goes into a house that's under construction. For one, that tells me there's really not nothing in that motherfucking house. I built the house before. We go in and out a long time.
Yeah. We talking about building materials.
When we were like when me and my
There's
wife
no
were looking for a
valuables
house, we would walk into houses that were getting built. We would walk into model homes. I mean, it's a common practice to do that. And ain't nothing really in there.
No.
The builder and the construction person has already taken that in consideration because they know when the sun go down, this house is open. It doesn't have the doors on it yet. It doesn't have the walls on it yet. So we're not going to leave anything in here of significant value. I think at one time they were stealing the copper pipe or something out of the house. Little stuff like that. And I think they've even scheduled it. Because see, when you're constructing something and you're a builder, you have a schedule where you put certain things in at certain times. Meaning, I'm not going to put the appliances in before I put the fucking door up.
Exactly.
So when I was building my house, the appliances went in last when they can lock it up. But for a long time, it was just wood. Maybe we had a roof, maybe a little sheetrock, maybe some tile on the floor. Even countertops and all that type of stuff come in very, very, very at the end.
But
like you know that this person is closing this week or next week. So we'll put this, but it's an order to it.
Yeah.
But even if, so I see somebody jogging, they stop off, and they go in this house, and they come out with empty-handed. They ain't toting the fucking TV, they ain't, toting nothing of value. And even if they is, guess what? It ain't my shit, it ain't my business, and there's nothing that he can tote out of that house is worth giving his life up for. Nothing. So the reality of it is, what are we really talking about? Is it about him trespassing? Is it about, we thought he was stealing? No, what is really about? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. They dragging this shit in and out of court. CNN's covered it. Fox News is covered. Everybody's got all these different variables and all. Well, what if he was doing this? And did they call the police? It's what it is. It's exactly what it is with Trayvon Martin case and all the other cases that came before it. It's a black man. We don't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't have the right. He looks suspicious. He doesn't have the right to protest me questioning him.
He doesn't have the right.
He doesn't have the right.
See, and
that's what this is all about.
It goes back to the fact that you're not considered, you're a human, but you're not really a human. You're not really a citizen. You're not really, and what's amazing to me about that is black people have been here longer than most white people who came here. Most white people who came, like their ancestors who came here, they came here in the 1900s. So if you want to talk about someone who's more American than you are, it is us.
Right.
We don't even have an identity when it comes. We can't trace our ancestors back to, you know what I mean? Not until recently, if you want to talk about Ancestry.com. But even still, there's no connection there because it was erased. So you want to talk about someone who's truly American? It is us. But again, it goes back to the fact that we don't have the benefit of the doubt and the ability for people to say, you know, what right do you have to come in here and
That's what it's about.
in this case it was, what right do you have to come in here and be jogging and stop at this vacant house?
And why is the black man always up to no good? Maybe that young man is thinking of purchasing a home, or he wants to see if he can find a card or something of the construction builder. Say, hey, you know, I might want these guys. I like what they're doing with this house. I might want to use them to build my house. Or I'm curious to see, you know, what type of flooring are they putting in this house? You know, what type of this? It's all kind of variables there why this black man could be in this house.
See, but what you're talking about again speaks to the benefit of the doubt,
Which we don't have.
You're automatically assumed to be a criminal, or like you said, up to no good. Before the facts, before you know, anything else comes out of whatever it is that happened, you're automatically assumed to not be up to any good.
Right.
See, again, those are things. Well, see, when people talk about racism and white privilege and, you know, so on and so forth, those are the intangible things that you can't really those things are hard to define. You know what I'm saying? But basically the mindset of people who killed him, and the mindset of people who basically backed the fact that this guy was killed, depend on the fact that, you know, black people are inherently criminal, and that comes from, and it's amazing that we're even looked at in that vein, because when we look at the history, if anything,
They're the savages.
do you understand what I'm saying? History bears out the fact, nigga, that you are the savage. History doesn't bear out the fact that I am the savage. It bears out that you are. So that's what's truly mind-boggling about it. You know what I'm saying?
In modern times, and I mean 60s, 70s, 80s on forward,
yeah.
the narrative has been painted that black people are savages, they're criminals, they're this. But historically, when you look back, which dates way back, not some shit that was fabricated,
No.
or some shit that somebody or a certain race of people are pushing an agenda. That's what happened with us.
Hundreds of years of
Because for one, it doesn't make any sense if you break it down. Okay, we come over here to America. We're brought over here to America.
Mm-hmm.
We have no rights. We have no freedom. We have nothing. We're idiots. We're just, you know, you're slaves.
Chattel is what they call this.
So how much are you really doing? Because you can't do shit. You can't do it if you don't have the right to do it. You can't bear arms. You can't do it. You can't do nothing. But who can? Who has all the freedoms to go out and kill everything, rob, steal? They've had it. So that's why I say, when you get off into maybe the late 50s, 60s, and 70s, black people are finally moving into certain neighborhoods, doing certain things. They push the narrative of, oh, you know, black on black crime. They're over there shooting each other again. They goddamn robbed the liquor store, which all that stuff was, you know, fabricated with the drugs that they put in the communities, taking the fathers out of the community. All that stuff was manufactured.
Yeah.
It's not organic. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? With the white man and other cultures, it's organic. Like your whole existence has been conquered.
Yeah. And
overseas and over here.
Depriving other people of their right to live and exist. Not even just black people. And see, that's what it is mind-boggling, and that's what bothers me. The fact that, see, but again, we don't have the ability to create our own narrative. So when you don't have the ability to create your own narrative, other motherfuckers create your narrative, and you know, basically, it's almost like a lion and an antelope.
Right.
If the lion is writing the history, then the antelope, I'm only eating the antelope, you know, in order to live. But here's the thing with white man when it comes to, or certain, you know, people who write the narrative. With them, it's not only, yeah, I'm just eating dinner, but it's like, hey, you deserve to be eaten.
Right.
Because you're behind, you're slow, you're not fully human, blah, 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 all this other shit. But this is what you get coming. You have this coming to you. You know what I'm saying? And that narrative has been, it's so deeply ingrained, it's so deeply entrenched that not only do the elites feeling that way, that's one thing. But when a motherfucker like these two goofball ass crap, you understand what I'm saying? Run of the mill,
can't articulate themselves well,
broke, dirty, uneducated, no fucking money. These are just dirty ass, run of the mill crackers.
That brings me to my point that this is what we're dealing with in 2020 and have been dealing with. This is the main thing. Listen up, black people, because this is the main thing that we're dealing with now. Now, as in the white person's perspective, get over it. That was a long time ago. It doesn't exist anymore. What are you talking this racism shit? What is all this Black Lives Matter shit? Y'all are stirring up bullshit. It's not like that no more. Nobody looks at y'all like that. That was in the 60s. That was in whatever. But what we're dealing with that has never went away, and we're dealing with it today more than ever. This is what all these killings are about. It's about you as a black man and us as black men. We don't have the right to contest a white person or another race when they come to us with something. We don't have that right. Now, another white man can contest another white man, and they can argue, they can get into it. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Fuck you, motherfucker. They can do all that shit. But when we do this, it's such a burning passion of disrespect to them. Like, yeah, I'll let this Chinese man, dispute and say his point of view, and I'll let the Mexican man every now and then say something. But a nigga, like, you do what you're told. You don't. It's a power struggle. They can't. You're considered arrogant. You're considered an asshole. You're considered all these things when you're a black man and you stand up on your 2 feet and you
just like any other man. Just like any other man.
Like any other man. And that's what we're dealing with a lot of today. Is that it's still ingrained in their head, like you said. Like, yeah, we got rid of the whites only water fountains, and yeah, we integrated the schools and all this type of shit. But hey, don't ever forget, I'm above you. If we're on a construction site, who's the foreman? The white man's the foreman. If we're in a company, who's the CEO? If it's a country, who's the president?
See, in the cover-up aspects of what happened here, basically this guy was murdered for no other reason than he was jogging, and they felt like he shouldn't have been wherever he was at that particular point in time. So he loses his life behind this, and you don't make an arrest until 2 months later.
Yeah, 2 months later.
60 days later.
They're gonna say I am.
The only reason that an arrest is made is because this video gets out and it's published, and it looks so fucking bad that something has to shake. Now, again, I can't remember if it was the father or the son. Somebody's linked to the police force.
The father.
The father.
I think the father is a retired police officer.
Father's linked to and this police force that we're talking about, this happened under, they have a number of questionable things that happen, under this police force. And see, this is the point that I want to make too. You know what I'm saying? Just how black people were denied, universally in America and other parts of the world, were completely denied the right to access society in a way through education, through jobs, through whatever socioeconomic variable that you can come up with.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell no, no, to the no, no. Hell to the no, no, to the no, 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 no. Hell to the no, no, to the no.
Black people were systemically denied that right. Racist motherfuckers and people who will not uphold our best interests at heart, and not even just us, but the general public, they should be denied positions of power.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? They should not be allowed to, just how we were, completely, not allowed to participate in the greater society in the form of, being a lawyer, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? They should not be allowed to hold positions of power, because when they hold positions of power, these are the type of things that result from them holding positions of power. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Well, I live for the day that something like this happens, or Trayvon Martin, or all the other ones that came. I live for the day that it's undisputable, that it's cut and dry. You see the video, you see what happened, and it's plain to see what it is. Go to court, guilty, done. We ain't having this as America to say, no, we're not having it. We're not going backwards. We're going forward, and we're not going to tolerate no shit like that as a country. When would that happen? Why is it always these smoke and mirrors? These, well, what, he charged that, and what was he doing out there? Like they said, if he was jogging, why did he have khaki shorts on?
And that's
see, what kind of fucking shit is that?
But again, see, it goes to the fact that you're not given the benefit of the doubt, and the actual person who is a criminal. See, that's why, again, to me, you should.
Why throw blood in the water like that? That's what they do. They throw blood in the water to make a person think something different.
Yeah, because you're not given the benefit of the doubt.
But it should be cut and dry. But somebody will come in and they'll sprinkle blood in the water. Wait a minute. I didn't see what I thought I saw. Maybe, he was the aggressor.
Yeah.
And it's always easy. What's funny? I'm not catching up. But what's always funny? The person, when it comes to the black person, he's never here to defend himself.
He's dead and gone.
See how that works? Every single time. They're never here. Mike Brown, he wasn't here to defend himself. Trayvon Martin, he wasn't here to defend himself. What's his name?
You see what they did to them. See, instead of focusing on the issue of them being killed unjustly, it's, he has a criminal record. He's a drug dealer.
We went through his apartment. He was smoking pot before he went jogging.
What in the...
Had nothing to do with nothing.
It has absolutely nothing to do with...
They took his shit. What was he up to? All kind of shit. They throw all these... That's what they do. They throw all this shit in the water.
Yeah.
Man, he taking a shit and smoking weed? Yeah, he was going to fuck somebody up. No. None of that stuff said that he was going to go do the wrong thing. They got to get out of it, man. And I'm sick of it, because even me, I witness it and I deal with it today. It's a power struggle that still exists very strongly. Because white people have this, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them have a superiority complex. And they try to hide it very well. And you probably never see it until you contest them on something. When it comes down to a showdown of you standing up for what you believe in versus what they told you to believe in or what they told you to do, that's when you see the clash, and that's when you see who's a real person that you're dealing with.
And that's why you have to contest them. See, this thing where, because I remember my parents used to always say, in the workplace, we have to do things 2 times harder than they do just in order to be equal.
That's where all they come from.
I understand that and I get that, but guess what? If I continue to do that, that feeds the superiority complex. That feeds that shit.
That yes-a-ball shit.
That's why I'm not finna do that. The minute you say I'm not, your corny ass jokes, and I'm not finna laugh at none of that shit.
You shouldn't have
to. I shouldn't have to. The minute you say something that I don't like, I'm going to let you know I don't like it, and I may say something that you don't like.
Guess what he gonna do?
No purpose.
Guess what he gonna do when you say something he don't like?
I already know.
He gonna let you know he don't like it.
And right, naturally, so I'm not even.
But you don't have the right to tell him that you don't like what he says.
You're not supposed to have that right. But again, if you never fucking initiate that, or if you never, if you never say, fuck it, look, this is how you feel, and you don't have no qualms about telling me how it is that you feel and showing me how you feel, nigga, guess what? I'm not finna have any either. I'm finna let you know exactly what it is, white boy.
That's it. Like you said, I'm glad you brought up that point about, you know how it is out there, and you gotta work 2 times or 3 times as hard as he do. And that's why that's a touchy subject for me, because it pisses me off that as black men, mainly I'm pointing at the men, don't teach your son and don't raise your son to be this passive ass, head down.
How would you like to go to work for me?
Yeah, ma'am. How much you gonna pay me, I hope?
It is what it is. That I know it's tough. You know, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Don't pay them no mind. No, that is not the way to be. Now, I ain't saying go out here and goddamn be Huey P. Newton and come to work with a fucking rifle strapped to your back. I ain't saying no shit like that, but have your dignity.
Yeah.
Because what you gotta teach that young man, it's better to die on your feet than to live on your knees.
That's a fact.
Because if you gotta go through life kissing ass, crawling, begging, and all this shit, you ain't living life anyway. Shoot that motherfucker in the head right now and take him out of his misery. Because he ain't living life anyway. He ain't worth living. Get him out of here.